We got a developing situation in the NFL. 4 major red flags to bet week 1 you need to know about. And we begin with all the interest on the Houston Texans at the Colts. Look at this tweet. This is fascinating. Colts haven't won a game, 1 victory in 10 seasons. Now, that's winning not against a spread, but look at all the action, all of the money, all of the tickets, 85 of the tickets, 91% of the money on the Texans minus 2.5. That's a problem because when all the money has been on one side, it has been disastrous for that side. And then look at this major wager. Somebody put $135,000 on the Texans minus 2.5. That is a problem. As I was saying last year, proof again, when all of the money and all the tickets are on one side, the public was wrong literally 70+% of the time. But wait, there's other flags you need to know. Presented by X Golf WPB on Instagram. Week 1, look at this against the spread. This is fascinating. The best quarterbacks against the spread in week 1, including Rodgers, Goff, Carr, Jackson, Mahomes. Tua's in there. Kyler's in there. Who knew? Worst quarterbacks against the spread in week 1 include Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Daniel Jones. That wouldn't surprise me. Russell Wilson doesn't surprise me either. How about the best coaches against the spread to make you money in week 1? Dan Campbell, Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, by the way, just returning back. Mike McDaniel, 2-0. So why do I point this out? We're looking for confluence, the overlap of best and worst. Look at this, because the best quarterback list I showed you includes Tua Tagovailoa. Also, the worst quarterback list included Trevor Lawrence. Remember, they're playing each other. Jacksonville's at Miami, and that includes the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel, who makes the best list. Fascinating. Keep that in mind. Let's look at the line right now from Hard Rock Bet, legal in Florida. Jaguars catching 3.5. Dolphins only laying the 3.5 at even money. It might be worth your money. It might be worth your time to invest in Miami since you have the overlap. Best against a spread quarterback, worst against, coach accordingly. But wait, there's more. Another week. 1 betting issue. Red flag. Pay attention. We're going to make you money. Presented by SLBT.com. Home of honest, reliable services, 1970. Take a look at this. This is a picture that shows you the tweet from ML Football. Remember last year? Remember when Aaron Rodgers' season ended on the 4th play of his season? That was Buffalo Bill Leonard Floyd, who received death threats because of the injury that Aaron Rodgers sustained. Well, guess what, my friends? He is now a 49er, which means that last year he opened with Aaron Rodgers on Monday Night Football. This year he'll do the exact same. Floyd goes on the Adam Schefter podcast. This is mind-blowing. Listen closely to what he says he heard from fans after that Monday night disaster for the Jets, in which he got the play, the sack on Aaron Rodgers, which changed the course of history. Listen to this.
What were some of the things that were said to you after you sacked Aaron Rodgers and he got hurt?
It's like I hope you die. You know, I hope your family, something happened to your family. Something.
What?
It was just a whole bunch of different fans just inboxing.
Wow.
And I'm like, dang, I was just playing football. I ain't want to hurt him.
That is wild. Meanwhile, keep in mind, the Jets won the game anyway, right? They won the game. They came back to win that game. How is Floyd using these threats now? Because remember, he's a Niner now, and he will play against Aaron once again to open Monday Night Football, which is a wild confluence. Take a look.
It wasn't me, but I used it as motivation. Like, all right, this year, let's go.
As motivation, that might be troubling. Question on the board. Quick question. Is Floyd versus Rodgers Part 2 a bad omen? It is kind of a weird omen, right? You've got these two on Monday Night Football to open the season week 1. The fact that Floyd goes from being a Bill to a Niner and the fact that the Jets are playing the Niners, it's kind of weird. And you're going to watch this kind of thinking like, oh, boy, I hope nothing bad happens. Certain quarterback, if you remember, in Washington that came back from injury, Alex Smith, and everybody was scared to death that he was going to snap his leg. And on the first play of action, what happened? He had a huge dude on his back, and you thought, no, God, please, no. We continue on. Speaking of the Jets and the Niners, to number 1 presented by Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views, your UFC fight headquarters. Niners rookie Ricky Pearsall with an update. Remember, he got shot last weekend. He was released from the hospital after he was actually shot. It was an attempted robbery. He then reported to Niners camp where he is at work. So then we got Trent Williams, who was holding out. He wasn't coming to work. He ended his holdout, he said, and it had a lot to do with this shooting. Look at this.
To be real, I felt more compelled to come back after that than anything.
Wow.
Because, you know, I've never experienced that, like, in my playing career, to have a teammate, you know, shot, so to speak.
He says shot, so to speak. No, that's not so to speak. He got shot, period. No so to speak. Meanwhile, Williams continued on about meeting Ricky Pearsall, the rookie, then just the one session he was there during mandatory or involuntary camp. And he explains, like, this kid came up to me, introduced himself, and he just seemed like a genuine, pure person. Look at this.
And, you know, can just feel he's such a genuine person. So,
Yeah.
soon as I seen that happen, I'm like, man, I just want to give back. I just want to be, you know, a voice in his ear, let him know everything going to be all right. I'll be there for the team. You know, a lot of people probably hurt and confused about what happened and thinking that am I next, you know. So I wanted to be around for that.
That's fascinating. He says that a lot of people probably hurt and confused, wondering, am I going to be next? He wanted to be a leader. He wanted to return. We're talking about betting red flags, right? This one has significant red flags. Look at this, because this right here up on your screen are the best quarterbacks once again against the spread in week 1. Rodgers' sample is large enough that it matters. 10-6 against the spread. Remember, he'll be a Jet on the road at San Fran. Meanwhile, worse coaches. Take a look at this again. Kyle Shanahan, 7. That's a large enough sample to realize there's a pattern here. Shanahan, 2-5 against the spread in week 1. And they will, of course, be laying the points. The 4 points, in fact. Yeah. And on top of that, how about the fact the Super Bowl loser for the entire century that we live in is just 5-19 against the spread? That means that they lose 4 out of 5 against the spread in week 1. So the question is on the board. It's pretty simple, right, kids? Question, what is the Monday Night Football play? Jets plus the 4, Niners minus the 4. You've got some of the math there early on. It tells you Rodgers great against the spread week 1. But also tells you that Kyle Shanahan terrible against the spread week 1. And then you put in the fact that Niners had all the distraction. Brandon Ayuk, that deal just got done. Trent Williams, that deal just got done. A lot of uncertainty. What is McCaffrey's overall actual health? We're not exactly sure. The fact the Super Bowl runner-up terrible against the spread, losing 4 out of 5 against the spread since the turn of the freaking century, tells me that the play is the New York Jets plus 4. I hate to say that, but it is. Hit like, hit subscribe, watch the other episodes. Please comment. We'll answer those accordingly. And remember, kids, while every day above ground is a good day, some are just more questionable than others. Second night to the bad guy. See you on Friday.